I welcome the participation of the permanent representative of Ethiopia in today's meeting. Let me begin by strongly condemning the terrorist attack in Kabul today. We extend our heartfelt condolences to the families of the victims of this terrorist attack. Today's attacks reinforce the need for the world to stand unitedly against terrorism and all those who provide sanctuaries to terrorists. Today's meeting under the agenda item Peace and Security in Africa has been necessitated by the humanitarian situation in Tigray, which is witnessing continuing fighting between the Ethiopian Defense Forces and the Tigray People's Liberation Front. In recent weeks, the conflict has intensified and now been spread by one side, TPLF, to the neighboring regions of Amhara and Afar. The conflict is having a severe impact on the civilian population, particularly women, children, and the elderly, and has resulted in the killing of innocent civilians, human rights violations, and use of child soldiers. The unilateral ceasefire announced by the government of Ethiopia in June 2021 was an important step aimed at improving the worsening humanitarian situation. Unfortunately, the opportunity provided by the ceasefire seems not to have been grasped, with the continuing aggression and belligerence of one side and spread of fighting beyond Tigray region. The humanitarian cost and suffering due to the conflict is unfortunately mounting. This development has a potential to destabilize the larger Horn of Africa region. In our view, today's meeting should strengthen efforts towards a ceasefire, which is the need of the hour. In this context, we take note of the efforts of the government of Ethiopia and its leadership in addressing the situation. The government has been working with humanitarian partners, including the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, the World Food Programme, and other agencies to alleviate the suffering of the people. We deeply appreciate the efforts of the Secretary General in this connection. The humanitarian access has been improving progressively with more convoys reaching the areas in need. This is demonstrated by the statistics provided by OCHA and WFP. The communication and coordination between the Ethiopian authorities and humanitarian agencies has improved significantly in recent weeks. We welcome the establishment of a regional emergency coordination center in Semera, comprising federal institutions, regional counterparts, WFP, and UN OCHA to facilitate the movement of trucks along Afar routes to Tigray and to coordinate emergency assistance to displaced people. We urge sustained close coordination between humanitarian agencies and the Ethiopian authorities to bridge the remaining gaps. At the same time, there is an urgent need to scale up efforts consistent with UN guiding principles for humanitarian assistance. At this juncture, Ethiopia needs all the support it can get from the international community. The international community should come together, treat the emerging situation with sensitivity and seriousness, and extend all possible humanitarian assistance to Ethiopia. The humanitarian agencies also need to take measures to avoid diversion of humanitarian aid. The government has undertaken investigation into cases of serious, including through joint investigations with the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights. We strongly denounce and condemn all atrocities committed by armed groups against civilians, including children. Those responsible for human rights violations and sexual violence perpetrated in Tigray should be prosecuted. For decades, Ethiopia has been an engine of economic growth in the Horn of Africa region. Today, Ethiopia needs support from the international community, including from the African Union and the United Nations, to address issues related to the conflict. The solution to the conflict must be Ethiopian-led and within the constitutional framework of Ethiopia. India continues to underscore the importance of mutual trust, engagement, dialogue, and reconciliation for lasting peace and stability. India reiterates its strong commitment to the unity, sovereignty, independence, and territorial integrity of Ethiopia. I thank you.